Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. Speaking of dots, you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any more finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Let's see, we got National Mango Day. I will be the first to admit I am not a big mango fan. I guess it's okay in certain drinks, but for the most part, I'm not really a big mango fan. Do you like mangoes? Let's see, what else have we got? National Panucci Day. I think that's how you say it, is Panucci. That's what they tell me anyway. Portugal, Oregon's, it's fudge. I like fudge. And it's kind of funny because they say it tastes like maple, but when you look at the recipe, brown sugar, butter, vanilla, and milk. Some people add pecans or other nuts. So why is it maple if I guess the brown sugar makes it taste like maple. And, today, got to go with it, Josh. Got to do it. Today is National Hammock Day. Have you ever swung in a hammock? Where would be your favorite place to be in a hammock? That's our question today. Where's your favorite spot to spend hammock time? Tell us in the chat. I'm going to say probably any beach. I just enjoy the beach. So, no, I don't live there yet, but I do spend a lot of time, not in the sand though. Restaurants at the beach, resorts along the beach, the boardwalks. If you watch us on social media, most Saturday, Sunday, holiday mornings, I'm walking around the island, the beach. So I guess you can't put a hammock at the resort. Oh, well, I digress. Let's move along. Let's see what the stock market's doing today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 4. The S&P 500 is up 27. NASDAQ up 140. Oil prices down 34 cents, a little bit below $80 a barrel now. Gas prices coming down. I haven't looked because I haven't been to the gas station lately. But I'm sure here in California, in the state of taxes and fees, now gas prices are probably still leading the country. They generally do lead the country in California. $4.68 a gallon is the average. Hawaii, $4.66. I wonder if Hawaii ever changes. I wonder if gas prices are fixed in Hawaii. Couldn't tell you, but I guess gas prices did come down just a little bit, 0.2 of a penny from yesterday. They're down about 7 cents from a week ago. So that is a good thing, but we'll keep on watching those for you. And I must tell you, I think I paid $4.15 last week when I went and got gas, $4.15. So it's still way too much. And it all has to do with Gavin Newsom taxes and fees that we get here in the formerly Golden State. Anybody watch any news yesterday? I'm not going to get too much into it because I got pretty nauseous. I got tired of it yesterday. I mean, it was crazy. I wanted to watch. Well, I did watch. Yes, I know I'm old, so I watched a little bit of the British Open. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not supposed to call it the British Open anymore. It's just the Open Championship. So my kids all laugh at me because it's golf. And they tell me, well, you know something, it's boring, Dad. And I said, yeah, well, I'm boring. Give me a couch to sleep on. I'll watch the golf tournament. But when you start changing the channels after about, I don't know, 10:30, 10:45 California time, 2, 4, 5, 7, 11, Fox Business, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Hee Haw, all of them, all they covered was the same thing over and over again, that Joe Biden dropped out of the race. Okay, once you said it once, and once it hit all the social media, and it hit, Josh tells me it hit all the streaming things that he's on to, because I don't blame him. He doesn't like commercials. I don't either. I was told, and maybe Josh, maybe you know about this one. I'm sure you do because you're into the streaming stuff. But even all the streaming things, all they covered was the same thing over. How many times can you say that Joe Biden dropped out of the race and didn't put anything out? You know, all he did was gave a statement, a written statement. Well, the guy's sick. He's been sick for a long time. Anybody that didn't know he's sick, well, you're missing a lot, because it's been that way for a long, long time. But he's sick with the COVID now, and so he didn't do his statement on TV. Okay, so what? So I mean, but the bottom line here is there's a streaming service that a friend of mine told me about, and if I could find where it is, I would tell you. Just because it's, to me, it seems, if I could. So I'll tell you the truth. If I could figure out how to get the service onto my TVs, I'd probably go with it, just because it's so much cheaper than what I already have. And from what I understand, it gives you a lot more channels. Now, my biggest problem, and maybe you have this one too. Yes, of course, I digress. I always digress. So I can't find stuff on the streaming services. No, I have DirecTV. I've had it for decades. I tried when the Monday night, when NFL Sunday Ticket went to Prime or to YouTube. I tried it. I couldn't find stuff on there. There's no direct access. What channel is 715? I'm used to it on DirecTV. I'm sure some of these. Josh, is there an easy way of doing this stuff? I mean, Josh is a king of it. And as you probably noticed, Josh takes care of all of our social media on Ron Siegel Radio. So when he's dealing with this stuff, I don't have to, and he understands it. I don't understand it. I'm not sure I want to understand it. I'm old. I admit it. But some of these things, I guess they're going to move by me because maybe they have moved by me. But some of the stuff, it just amazes me. I pay like $200 a month for this stupid DirecTV that I have. TuneIn-now.com. TuneIn-now.com. And I understand you get hundreds and hundreds of stations and only costs like $30 or $40 a month. I don't know even know if that's a good price. Josh, $30, $40 a month, is that a good price for streaming? Okay, he's shaking his head. So even there, I might be missing it. But I digress. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, how affordability and remote work are changing where people live. 7 things credit card issuers consider when you apply, what to know about mortgage, down payment assistance programs, and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
As the economy slows, do you know anyone worried about job loss? At Siegel Lending Team, we offer the Home Select Loan. Think of it as a financial superhero cape for homeowners with good income and credit. It not only saves your home, but also throws a life ring to your credit score. Because who needs stress when you can have peace of mind? Let's secure your future with a smile. Visit rsrhomeselect.com. rsrhomeselect.com, NMLS 217037.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. It looks like OBMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They just tell us the price that rates were locked in at if you don't have a mortgage calculator. That's the number you put into a mortgage calculator. If you don't have the mortgage calculator, ronismylender.com, ronismylender.com. Well, we got a 4 out of 5 on the bad score review here. All four of them, of the 5 that we track every morning, were up. 30-year conforming up 6.784, 30-year jumbo up 7.142. FHA, the only one down, 6.589, 30-year USDA. Rural areas, generally no down payment, 6.512. 30-year VA loan, best loan on the market for our veterans who don't want to put any money down, 6.25%. And yes, even for the veterans, if you qualify, the Home Select program is the best. rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. If you want our thoughts about what's going on in the world of mortgages and home economics, you can go to rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. We put that out each morning as early as the data allows. Let's see what the markets are doing today. S&P 500 is up 34 points as we speak. 10-year Treasury, the yield is up 3 basis points. Mortgage-backed security bond is down 6 basis points. Bond down, rate up. Just the way it works. What's driving a lot of this right now? Well, today, not a whole lot. That's why the market's flat. What we're looking at right now, though, is the future. And that's always what's most important, is looking at what's coming up ahead. And when we look at what's coming ahead, well, many people should start looking right here, right now, at what your mortgage statement looks like. Because over the last couple of years, 2022 through now, there were 2 million people took out mortgages between 6 and 6.5%. Another 2 million families, 6 and 5/8 to 7, and another 2 million, over 7%. As interest rates come down and as we see the Federal Reserve probably starting to lower rates on the discount rate, does not necessarily affect mortgage rates. But we're going to start seeing, as they start lowering probably in September, we'll start seeing some improvement in mortgage rates. As that happens, 6 million people might be starting to look and see, does it make sense for me to redo my mortgage? Well, we're here to give you that analysis. I don't know whether it's good or bad. Neither does anybody else. So when you start getting these phone calls and saying you should refinance, the question I would say is why? What is the logic that they're giving you? Are you saving enough money to make that make sense for you and your family? Remember the 3 words. Last week, if you remember, I did, and I don't remember which day it was. We'll probably have it on the social channels. But I did something called a Borrow Smart discussion. And when we did the Borrow Smart discussion, we were looking at the concept of 7 questions you should always answer prior to doing any kind of a loan. And they all revolve around safety, liquidity, and return. Most mortgage people, and the call centers for sure, are not talking about that with you. So what do we end up doing? We end up just saying, I got a call from Apollo Mortgage or whatever it is, and they said that I can save $20. Does that make sense to you to do that? Well, it might, But if you're only going to be in the house for another year, yeah, maybe it doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? So the concept here is you need to have that borrow smart conversation. And I take it one step further, borrow smart, repay smart. Got to have that conversation before you do anything. And there's about 6 million families that are going to start getting their phones blown up, literally, because it just happens. I'm going to tell you in a minute why it happens. You're listening. That's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And I'm going to give you some guidance right now. So Josh will be putting some of these on the screen. I did not give him a heads up, so it'll take a little bit of time maybe. But right now, while the rates are not down to those all-time lows, if you like getting your phone blown up with lots of calls, if you want your mailbox inundated with all kinds of letters and advertisements, do nothing. If you want to protect your calls, optoutprescreen.com. optoutprescreen.com. Go there right now and register everyone in your family. And you can do it for a temporary registration or you can do it a permanent registration. It does not happen immediately. It'll usually take 3, 4, 5 days for it to take effect. But optoutprescreen.com tells the credit bureaus, I don't want my data sold. I don't want my data sold. Optoutprescreen.com. Perfect. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feeds, you're seeing that right there on your screen. Optoutprescreen.com. All one word, no spaces. For those of you listening on radio, optoutprescreen.com. Optoutprescreen.com. That tells the bureaus, hey, I don't want you selling my information. Is that going to stop you from getting hammered? No. It'll minimize it because there are still places that anybody can go. It's public record. If you got a mortgage or in 2022, 23, 24, any year, probably goes back about 40 years. The title companies and the county recorder's office has a record of that. And that data can be purchased. And we have a good idea, okay, what were rates in 2022? You can go to a lot of different services, google.com, and say, what were the average mortgage rates in January of 2022? And it'll give you a number. And they can say, okay, well, that number was X. Maybe it was 6 or 6.5. And you can go and say, okay, I want to get everybody who got a mortgage in those dates, and I want to get their name and address. It's public record. So they're not going to give your phone number or your email address. But come on. Don't you think that's on the web somewhere? So, and then you go to Facebook or you go to LinkedIn or you go to, I don't know, Instagram, MySpace. I don't know if anybody goes to MySpace anymore. I don't know. I don't know enough about TikTok. They collect a lot of data for the Chinese Communist Party, so they probably have it too. But you can get the data right there, or you can target people and put ads on there. So be careful of that. The second place I want you to go, do not call.gov. Do not call.gov. Put all your phone numbers in there. That's going to minimize the phone calls you get. Will it stop them? No. But do not call.gov is a good source as well. Why? Because there are reputable companies that'll actually look at that. Now, if you've done business with somebody, do not call.gov does not apply to them. So theoretically, if you got a mortgage from us 6 months ago, well, we can still call you and say, hey, how you doing? Or does it make sense for you and your family? That's totally legal. That's not against the rules, not against the law, because you've got a business relationship. If it's somebody calling business to business, again, that's okay. Business to business doesn't count. So just be aware that that's all out there 2 different sources to save you: optoutprescreen.com, donotcall.gov. 2 different places. When we do consulting with folks, early on in our consultation, we go and we say, go to both of these sites, because if you decide that now is the right time, the sooner you're registered on those sites to get your name off, the better it's going to be. So again, just to protect you a little bit, you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, how affordability and remote work are changing where people live. 7 things credit card issuers consider when you apply, what to know about mortgage, down payment assistance, and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the first Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Let's see, what do we have? How affordability and remote work are changing where people live. That is our story this morning. There's an interesting trend happening in the housing market. People are increasingly moving to more affordable areas, and remote or hybrid work is helping them do it. Consider moving to a more affordable area. Today's high mortgage rates combined with continually rising home prices means it's tough for people to afford a home right now. That's why many interested buyers are moving to places where homes are less expensive and the cost of living is lower. As Orphe Divangai, senior economist at Zillow, explains, quote, housing affordability has always mattered, and you're seeing it across the country. Housing affordability is reshaping migration needs, unquote. If you're hoping to buy a home soon, it might make sense to broaden your search area to include places where homes that fit your needs are more affordable. That's what a lot of other people are doing right now to find a home within their budget. Extra Space Storage explains, quote, 55% of American adults are looking to relocate to a different state or city for more affordable home and lower costs of living. Specifically, states with a strong economy, lower cost of living, and remote work options continue to be the ideal places to live in the U.S. Remote work opens up more home options. If you work remotely or drive into the office only a few times each week, you have many more possibilities when looking for your next home. That's because you can cast a broader net, including more suburban or rural areas nearby. As Marketplace Homes says, quote, people start to reconsider where they want to live when commute times are slashed in half or eliminated altogether. If they have a longer commute but don't have to do it daily, they may feel like they can tolerate living further away from their job, or if someone works entirely remotely, they can move to a cheaper area and get a lot of house for their dollar. How a real estate agent can help? Real estate agent can help you find the perfect home for your budget. They're especially valuable when you're moving to a new, unfamiliar area. Bankrate says, quote, if you're moving far away, you may not have a good idea about which neighborhoods or towns will be the best fit. An experienced local agent can help you find the lifestyle you're looking for in a home you can afford. So, you're thinking about relocating to somewhere with more affordable homes? What are you waiting for? With the added flexibility of remote work, you might have more options than before. Bottom line, dreaming of a place where your money goes further? Let's connect so you have someone to help find the next home. Together, we'll make your dream of home ownership a reality. Give me a call again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. No, I do not sell real estate. Yes, I do help people all the time in finding a great real estate professional in the area that you live in. We got to put a bar on some of our stuff. I'm sorry, that's a real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. We're going to put a bar out there, Josh. We're professional connectors. I can tell you that nearly anything you want to know when it comes to the roof over your head of your bank account, not that I know it, I don't, but I know a lot of people. We've done over 4,000 radio shows. Yeah, you can see most of them on YouTube. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. You can see most of them right there. So if you're looking for a divorce attorney, I know about 3 or 4 of them. If you're looking for an estate planning attorney, there's a half a dozen of those. Home inspectors, yeah, we got those too. In the sound of our voice. If I don't know them, I certainly know real estate agents all over the country, or agents that know agents all over the country. So we're able to put people together. If you're looking for anything, I'm air conditioning. People love story time. So my wife gets a call from somebody, and they say, "Do you know a good air conditioning company?" And she says, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what's going on?" "Well, I was just told that I need a new air conditioner." Actually, it wasn't a call. She found him in the hair shop, whatever I don't know. I don't go to beauty salon. I don't have any hair. So she said, "Need a brand new air conditioner, $15,000. It's hotter than heck out right now." Of course, I say that anytime it gets over 75. Josh is laughing at me. Right? It doesn't even get down to 75 over there in Vegas. I don't think even at night. So she says, "We need a new air conditioner, $15,000. So my wife says, "Okay, I've got the perfect person for you. Call Victor and Tony over at Veteran Air Mechanical." Person does, reports back to my wife. $450 was what it cost to fix the unit. $450, not $15,000. It's easy to say you need to spend $15,000, not easy to pay the bill, but $450. Will it last forever? No. Will it get them through the hot summer? Probably, for a whole lot less money. So I'm just throwing that out there for you. We know lots of people in lots of areas. If you want us to put you in touch, more than happy to do it. We've been talking a lot lately to a lot of financial groups, and those groups have been, all over the state, actually other states as well, where we're talking to financial groups about our Home Select program at Geneva Financial. Is it right for everybody? Absolutely not. But if you qualify, maybe you don't want to have your house paid off in 10 years. I don't know. But in any event, I digress. I get going out. I was telling you in the last segment about the new refi world coming up. Don't forget, there is still that two-step, rsr2step.com, rsr2step.com. 2 different programs we've actually done on Ron Siegel Radio. rsr2step.com, where we showed you exactly how to strategically deal with getting your budget in order. And that kind of goes along with where the 3% loan is killing you. rsr3pctloan.com. rsr3pctloan.com. Both of those go hand in hand. And they talk to you about, why is that 3% loan killing you? Now, once you've done this, you don't want to do this ahead of time. rsrpctloan.com is a great tool to get out of debt. Now, there are a lot of different things you can do here to get out of debt and we're constantly chatting about them. So using some of your equity is one of them. And again, I was at a group over the weekend, it was this one, and we're talking about people that have that sub-4 interest rate on their mortgage, and they're accelerating their payments on that at the expense of not paying off their 23% credit cards. Why would you do that? Put the extra money to getting the credit card bills out of the way. Now, I also had a conversation on Friday with our friend Chris Corrales. If you've got credit card bills, unsecured debt, maybe a auto repo that's got a deficiency, you're paying on it, private student loans, all of those things are what Chris and his team work on for you. Do they get them all? Number one, is there any guarantees? No. Can they negotiate most of them to a lower amount to get them paid off? Yes. That's what they're doing over there for a lot of people right now. If you want to meet him, again, give me a call at 800-306-1990. Do we do it? No. Do we know who does it? Yes. Do we put you in touch with them? Yes. That's our mission at Ron Siegel Radio, is making sure that you have that borrow smart, repay smart kind of thinking. Throw that out there for you. Let's do a Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. 7 things credit card issuers consider when you apply. Knowing what card issuers could consider takes some of the guesswork out of applying for a credit card. Here are the 7 factors that may affect whether they approve your application. Number 1, your FICO score and credit report. Cleanall3.com. Cleanall3.com. Most credit card issuers will request at least one of your credit reports from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and a FICO score based on the report. They use a FICO score to better understand the likelihood that an applicant will miss a credit card payment in the future. Having a higher FICO score can help you qualify for more credit cards and lead to a lower interest rate on your credit card if you're approved. Remember, notice I emphasize FICO score, not a credit score, and it's got to be the right model of FICO. Some will use various models. We use cleanall3.com because that gives you the models that the mortgage world uses. Number 2, the issuer's custom credit scores. 9 out of 10 top lenders use a FICO score, but many large card issuers also create and use custom scoring models. For example, a major credit card issuer might create a custom score for its secured credit cards that are generally for people who are trying to establish or rebuild their credit. And a separate custom score may be used for its premium credit cards. The company's custom score might use an applicant's FICO score as an input in its custom score, along with information from their credit report and application to refine its decision-making process. Number 3, your monthly income, bills, and debt-to-income ratio. Credit card applications will ask about your household income and monthly housing bills. The card issuer can use this information along with information about your credit cards and loans from your credit report to estimate your monthly debt-to-income ratio. Federal law requires the card issuers to check if applicants have enough income or assets to afford the new card's minimum payments. Some card issuers also have minimum income requirements, and they might use your income and debt-to-income ratio to help set your credit card's interest rate and credit limit. Number 4, your relationship with the company. Credit card issuers may also consider your history and current relationship with the company. For example, a loyal customer who has responsibly managed a credit card for years might have an easier time getting approved for a new card. However, someone with an unresolved collection for a past due credit card might be denied automatically. Card issuers may also consider how much credit they've extended you overall. Even if you have an excellent FICO score, the card issuer might deny an application if you have several credit cards from the company. But sometimes you can get approved if you call the issuer and ask to transfer part of your credit limit from an open card to a new card. Number 5, your bank account history. Banks and credit unions may offer credit cards alongside checking and savings accounts. If you have one of these accounts, the company might consider your banking relationship and history. Your bank account history might show that you responsibly manage your money and pay bills that don't appear on your credit reports. Number 6, the company's policies. Many credit card issuers also have policies that can lead to an automatic denial regardless of your income and credit. For example, if you recently opened a card with the issuer, you might not be able to get a second card right away. Or if an issuer enforces a 524 rule, which generally means that they won't approve a credit card application if you've opened 5 or more cards from any issuer in the past 24 months. Number 7, the results of identity and fraud checks. Your credit card application will likely trigger an identity and fraud check. These checks can protect the card issuer from fraudsters and help you from someone trying to open a credit card in your name. If you've completed the application, you hopefully won't run into any trouble with these checks. But you may want to review your credit reports for errors that might cause false alarms. Although card issuers consider many factors, having a strong FICO score can certainly make qualifying for credit cards easier and can lead to cards getting with lower interest rates. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. When we come back, by working with a real estate professional is crucial right now, and what to know about down payment assistance programs, all that and more. Reach me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. What to know about mortgage down payment assistance programs. That is our subject today. Trying to save money for a down payment can be a major obstacle to home ownership for many consumers. Nearly 60% of millennials say that coming up with a down payment is one of the biggest obstacles standing in the way of home ownership, according to a recent survey by Apartment List. Yet if you're worried about not being able to come up with the money you need to afford a down payment on a home, there's good news. Thanks to mortgage down payment assistance programs, you might not have to rely on your savings alone to accomplish your goal of becoming a homeowner. The guide that we're going to share with you will help you understand what mortgage down payment assistance is, how these types of programs work, and where to look for the type of financial assistance. Here's what you need to know if you're interested in using mortgage down payment assistance when you purchase a home. First off, what is mortgage down payment assistance? We also call it a DPA. DPA programs are grants, low interest loans, forgivable loans, and deferred payment loans that can help you pay for the cost of a down payment. In some cases, DPA programs may help with closing costs too. These types of programs can help reduce the financial burden borrowers face when trying to save up large amounts of cash to buy a home. The funds for down payment assistance programs often come from government agencies. However, there are private lenders and other organizations that issue DPA funds to borrowers as well. Last time I looked, there were 352 down payment assistance programs just in the state of California alone. How mortgage down payment assistance works, each down payment assistance program is different. So if you're interested in finding financial help during the home buying process, it's wise to research the details of each program, including how much assistance they offer, whether the funds are forgivable grants or loans, and if you are able to qualify. For some DPA programs, you may need to fill out a mortgage application and go through your lender. Yet with others, you may be able to apply for financial assistance separately as long as your lender will accept the DPA funds should you qualify. Eligibility requirements. In many cases, down payment assistance programs are restricted to first-time home buyers. As long as you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, you may qualify for certain programs. Other DPA program eligibility requirements may include minimum FICO score. You may need to have at least a minimum FICO score or higher to participate in some DPA programs. Low-income borrowers. If you earn more than a certain amount per year, you may not be eligible for certain DPA programs. Primary residence down payment assistance programs are typically only available to help buyers of primary residences, not investment or rental properties. Purchase price limitations. Some DPA programs may place restrictions on the maximum purchase price of the home you wish to purchase. Home buyer education. You may need to complete a home buyer education course prior to closing. What are some of the types of mortgage down payment assistance programs? There are 2 primary types of down payment assistance programs available to help buyers. Number 1 is grants. Grants are DPA funds you do not have to repay. You may be able to use grants to cover your down payment and sometimes closing costs as well. Second is loans. A down payment assistance loan could be another way to find help coming up with funds for your down payment and possibly closing costs on a mortgage as well. These types of loans typically function as a second mortgage, but depending on the DPA program, they may come in several different varieties. You might find a forgivable loan. These types of loans act like grants. You don't have to repay them, but you generally need to remain in the house for a certain number of years after the purchase before the lender forgives the debt. Deferred payment loans. In general, borrowers can put off making payments on these types of loans until they move, refinance the first mortgage, or until the end of the loan's term. Low interest loans. With a low interest loan, you'll own a second payment alongside your first mortgage each month for down payment assistance. Yet since the loan features a low interest rate, and in some instances, no interest, the goal is for payment to be more affordable. So where do you find down payment assistance grants and loans? If you're interested in using a grant or DPA, here are some resources. Freddie Mac Down Payment Assistance Database, your state housing finance authority, National Home Buyers Fund, Bank of America grants, PNC closing cost assistance grants, Wells Fargo grants. You can consider search the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development website for home buyer programs in your area. I haven't tried it, but my bet is if you go to ChatGPT and just put in their home down payment assistance programs and then put your state and then put your city, I bet there's going to be some that come up in that way as well. Let me just try. I'm going to try that real quick. In California, let's see if we, what do you think we're going to find? Is ChatGPT going to find it? I'm going to bet that they do. So you can almost find anything on artificial intelligence anymore. Yeah, so I just went in here and put that. Here's what I put in to ChatGPT. Down payment assistance in California or Orange County. If I put in a better prompt, I would have got a better response. But it tells me my home assistance program is a Cal HFA program, Cal HFA zero interest program, GSFA platinum program. Then I get into Orange County and there's a bunch of those. And it gives me a bunch of resources all in there just for the same thing. So when you're hearing in the news, and I don't know if it's all over the news, I'm assuming that it's on the streaming services as well. Right now, everything is about AI, artificial intelligence. Are you using it? Are you taking advantage of some of these things? Now, I'm going to share, not everything that comes out on there is 100% accurate. It is not all, and it needs to be modified. Okay, but you can get a lot of really good information on there. Take use of it. That is the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Why working with a real estate professional is crucial right now. Navigating the housing market can be tricky, especially these days. That's why having an experienced guide when buying or selling a home is so important. The market isn't exactly straightforward right now, and working with a real estate expert can offer insights and advice that makes all the difference. While today's market conditions might seem confusing or overwhelming, you don't have to handle them alone. With a trusted expert leading you through every step, you can navigate the process with the clarity and confidence you deserve. Here are just a few of the ways a real estate expert is invaluable. Contracts. Agents help with the disclosure and contracts necessary in today's heavily regulated environment. Experience. In today's market, experience is crucial. Real estate professionals know the entire sales process, including how it's changing right now. Negotiations. Your real estate advisor acts as a buffer in negotiations with all parties and advocates for your best interests throughout the entire transaction. Industry expertise. Knowledge is power in today's market, and your advisors will simply and effectively explain processes, market conditions, and key terms, translating what they mean for you along the way. Pricing. A real estate professional understands current real estate values when setting the price of your home or helping you make an offer to purchase one. Pricing matters more than ever right now, so having expert advice will help ensure you're set up for success. A real estate agent is a crucial guide through the challenging market, but not all agents are created equal. A true expert can carefully walk you through the real estate process, look out for your unique needs, and advise you on the best ways to achieve success. Finding an expert real estate advisor, not just any expert, should be your top priority if you want to buy or sell a home. As Bankrate states, quote, real estate is very localized, and you want someone who's extremely knowledgeable about the market in your specific area. You should also look for someone with a successful track record of negotiating and closing deals, preferably for homes similar to the kind you want to buy. What's the key to choosing a right expert? Well, first off, I would say call Ron Siegel Radio, because we can put you in touch with somebody. But like any relationship, it starts with trust. You want to know you can depend on that person to always put you and your best interest first. That means hiring a true professional, as a Business Insider explains, quote, as long as you're properly vetted, the agents you're considering, and sure they have the necessary expertise, it's okay to go with your gut when making your final decision on which real estate agent you want to work with. You're going to be working closely with this person, so it's important to choose an agent you're comfortable with, unquote. It's crucial to have an expert on your side who's well-versed in navigating today's housing markets. If you're planning to buy, sell a home this year, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.